What's good, everybody? It's the Clown with Cab Show. Shout out to the best shooter of all time, Steph Curry with the pop, boy. I'm telling you what, when I first saw Steph Curry play, this was back in 2008, and I knew, I was like, dude, this kid is going to be a superstar one day. He's going to be great. He's going to do great things in the NBA. And a lot of the analysts were saying, well, he's small. He doesn't look big. He can't really play defense. Now look at Steph Curry now. He just passed Ray Allen for most three-pointers of all time, 2,974 and counting. Look, Steph is special, man, and Steph really has changed the game of not just the NBA, of how basketball is played right now. We look at it now. People are shooting more threes. Back when I played over a decade ago, it was more like, all right, we're going to drive to the basket. Yeah, kick out to the three, but it wasn't like, hey, we're going to shoot threes and live and die by the three. Now we got some teams, and I'm not saying Golden State. I'm not saying they're always like live and die by the three. Yes, they can do that, but they can also drive to the basket and get those easy buckets, the layups, the floaters, the jump shots. But, just the whole game. And I think Steph Curry's influenced the next generation of hoopers of like, hey, we're going to start shooting threes. Yeah, you could do dunks on us. Yeah, you can do jump shots on us. But, if we continue to hit the three, we're going to have one extra point each possession. We're going to eventually win the game. We're going to score 100-plus points a game. That's what we're going to do, and I think Steph Curry's really elevated that. And a lot of the people who like to throw hate, throw shade to people, and all the analysts like to do that, is saying, hey, Steph, this is not how basketball should be played. This isn't how it should be. And it's like, really? I love it, dude. I think Steph Curry, he's a great guy. I think he's a great player, and I think where he's going right now, he's elevating himself. And I could say right now that Steph Curry 100% is in the top 10 greatest players of all time to ever play the game of basketball. I will definitely say that. To say Steph Curry's not in the top 10 right now would be ignorant. Seriously, it would be ignorant. And like I said, the first time I saw Steph play was back in 2008. He played at Davidson from 2006 to 2009. And just, from then, my first time seeing him was in the March Madness in 2008 where they played Gonzaga opening round. And I was like, man, there was something about Steph. I don't know what it was. Was it his touch? What is it, just the pure shot. Just that you can't really teach a pure shot like Steph Curry. You just can't. You can't do it. You can't teach ability to your feet are not, straight or like a 90-degree angle to the basket. He just does crazy stuff. He can shoot. He can fade away. He can do crazy stuff. I think Steph Curry, just his natural touch, is really how, developed into Steph Curry that he is present day in 2021. It's great, dude. But, first saw him play, he dropped 40 points on Gonzaga in the March Madness game. And I was like, wow, dude, who is number 30? Who is this guy? He's really skinny. Did it look like he never even seen the weight room before? It was like, who is this cat? He can shoot threes. Can he play defense? That was the knack. And he got some steals as well. And then, they go on to play Georgetown, which is a number 2 seed in the NCAA tournament. And Davidson is a 10 seed, so they're not supposed to win these games. He drops 30 on Georgetown. He drops 30, beats Georgetown, and I was like, wow, dude, this kid is a first-round NBA draft pick, and we could jump to conclusions in the March Madness and say, we can go back, to Jimmer Fredette days and was like, wow, Jimmer's the next big thing. He didn't really pan out in the NBA. Steph Curry could have done that, but I just thought, man, there was something about Steph, dude. I don't know, the babyface assassin, he was really a nice guy, but he can shoot the lights out, dude. He's the greatest shooter of all time. No one's ever done that. And Ray Allen's giving him homage because he just passed his record. Reggie Miller's even giving him homage. Me being born in Indiana, Reggie Miller saying, yes, Steph is the greatest shooter of all time. That's humbling, from Reggie Miller, of all people. Reggie Miller was kind of arrogant, kind of a little bit over cocky, but you kind of have to do that to be the best athlete, right? To be a great athlete, you kind of have to be overconfident. You have to be kind of arrogant in a way, but hearing that from him, it was amazing. It was like Reggie Miller saying that stuff. That is crazy. And then I saw Steph in the Sweet 16 beat Wisconsin. He dropped 33, and we saw LeBron in attendance that game courtside. He was actually clapping for Steph. Who would have thought LeBron would have been like, wow, real recognize real. And we see what they are right now. Steph and LeBron, they're kind of rivals. I don't think they hate each other. They just realize, wow, we're both great. We're both in the top 10 greatest of all time. We could say LeBron right now is in the top 3, and a lot of people hate LeBron. That's another story for another day. But even Steph, people hate on Steph. They really do. It is crazy, dude. One of my cousins, so he had an ex-girlfriend, whatnot, so she threw away a Steph Curry jersey in his trash can, and it had, like, dog shit on it. And they were like, yeah, dude, like, we're throwing it away. It's it. I was like, what? You're throwing away a Steph Curry jersey? So I grabbed it out, took the dog shit. It had a dog shit stain on the Steph Curry jersey. So what do? I go home and wash it, and it looks brand new. And I was like, I am not throwing away a Steph Curry. We're talking about a future Hall of Famer, and they're going to throw it in the trash can? Treat Steph like that? That is crazy, dude. I'll never forget that night. But I still have the Steph Curry jersey. And then Steph goes to the Elite Eight with Davidson. They lose to Kansas by 2. He drops 25. I just thought, some coaching changes should have done that game. And arguably, we saw what Kansas did. They went on to win that national championship. 7 years later, Steph wins his first NBA title against LeBron in 2015. That is crazy, dude. Who would have thought that? 7 years after losing to Kansas, in the Elite Eight, Steph, 7 years, wins his first NBA championship. We understand that Steph is a 3-time NBA champion, dude. 3-time, 2-time NBA MVP. 2015, 2016, he's a 2-time NBA scoring champion, 2016 and 2021. Steph he's one of the most iconic sports figures today. He really is, and it's amazing. It truly is, dude. Obviously, the NBA Finals, I think the 2015 was great, but the 17-18 with Kevin Durant and those guys, but it's not like they needed them. But I really think, obviously Steph's heartbreak finals was definitely in 2016 where the Warriors surpassed the Bulls for regular season wins. And what happens? LeBron comes back from 3-1 to win that series, to win the NBA Finals against all odds. The only team to ever do that, come back from 3-1 in the NBA Finals, was LeBron James and the Cleveland Cavaliers. That's the only team to ever do that. Now I'm not trying to take away anything from Steph. Steph is great, and Steph understands that, man. LeBron is great. He understands that LeBron, he is, he's not at his max peak right now. We understand that, but LeBron's still great. He can still score on anybody. We know that. And for Steph right now, three NBA championships, I do think Steph will win a few more. Absolutely. I really do. I think when Klay Thompson comes back, add a couple more scores, a couple more big guys to help Draymond in the Golden State Warriors, I do think they can win another NBA championship. Absolutely. There's no doubt about it. What's more crazy is Steph goes into the draft in 2019, right? Or excuse me, in 2009, not 19, 2009, he goes into the 2009 draft, and what happens? No, Steph Curry's not the number 1 pick. Yes, Blake Griffin was the number 1 pick in the 2009 NBA draft, which I look back and I'm like, Blake Griffin had, still in the league. Not as good as he once was with the Los Angeles Clippers, with CP3 back in those days, back in like 2012, 2013, 2014 days. Those were like, prime Blake Griffin. He would be dunking on people, dunking on fools. So at the time, I was like, wow, yeah, that's a great pick. Blake Griffin in front of Steph. I get that. Number 3 was James Harden to OKC. Now, are you guys going to tell me that James Harden is better than Steph? No. OKC scratching their head right now saying, oh, shit, dude, we just skipped on Steph Curry, dude. We skipped on him. That is crazy, dude. James Harden, and a lot of people love James Harden, but I even said, and I've said before that Carmelo shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame. I'm completely wrong on that. Carmelo Anthony should be in the Hall of Fame. Now, my thing with James Harden is I don't think he will be in the Hall of Fame. Number 1, he doesn't play defense. Number 2, he gives up on plays. Do Hall of Famers do that? Did Michael Jordan give up on plays? Really? Did he ever give up on plays? No. Did he, yes, there was some pounding, but was he like complaining to the referees? We have to understand that today's game's a lot different than it was in the 80s and 90s. You touch him now, it's a foul. Michael Jordan never did that stuff. Dennis Rodman never did that stuff, never complained. James Harden, he gets touched and he falls down. He's soft. He's really soft. That's my opinion on James Harden. Yeah, he can score on anybody. So can anyone in the NBA, right? Anybody can score. In today's day and age, people should be able to score 30 to 40 points on average. They play no defense. No good defense. So James Harden went number 3. Tyreek Evans went number 4 to Sacramento Kings. That's crazy, right? Tyreek Evans, I mean, dude, he played at Memphis, but it was like, wow, before Steph, that's crazy. And number 5 was Ricky Rubio. You guys remember him, man? He was a nice point guard, but in front of Steph, dude, went to Minnesota. Johnny Flynn, number 6, went to Minnesota. Minnesota had 2 opportunities to get Steph Curry, and they passed him. And then obviously number 7, the rest is history. Golden State drafts Steph Curry. It's crazy. Minnesota, I'm thinking, dude, you guys really could add Steph Curry. That is crazy, but it really worked out for Steph Curry. I do believe Steph Curry will end his career in Golden State, which he should. That'd be iconic, like Tim Duncan, like Kobe Bryant, those type of guys. But, it's crazy looking back at the draft and saying, wow, look at all the players that were drafted in front of Steph. And we could say that Steph is better than every one of them. Yes, even Blake Griffin. I mean, let's just be honest here. He's had a better career right now. He really is. Yes, if Blake Griffin ends up winning an NBA championship, even then, it's like, no, Steph Curry is better than Blake Griffin, dude. In the same class, dude, that was crazy. Iconic, man. But, for Steph, it's just like, I think he's really influencing the youth now. The youth that didn't see, Michael Jordan play, those type of guys play in the 90s, they didn't really understand the game then. They didn't understand that you could really spear somebody and get away with the foul. Nowadays it's a flagrant. You're going to get fined like $50K easily. That's just part of the game, man. But Steph, Hall of Famer. And we heard Michael Jordan a couple years ago come out and say, Steph's not a Hall of Famer. Yeah, I think, if we ask Michael Jordan today, present day, and say, what, is Steph a Hall of Famer? Michael Jordan would say, yes, he's a Hall of Famer. I think, MJ was just kind of like, throwing him some shade, and whatnot. But I think Steph Curry, man, he's a humble guy. I really do. Steph Curry in the NBA Finals averaging over 26 points a game in the NBA Finals. He's 17-11 in the NBA Finals, so way above 500. I know they like to get that Finals back in 2016 against LeBron. Yes, they beat LeBron in 2015, and I really do think if LeBron had Kyrie or Kevin Love, we would be saying something different. We'd be saying, yeah, Steph was a 2-time NBA champion instead of 3. But there's all kinds of ifs, ands, or buts about it. But, we cannot, minimize the greatness of Steph Curry. We look at these top athletes in the world, and we like to, throw shade at them or just really minimize them, dude. We only get one Steph Curry. He's a once-in-a-lifetime basketball player. That's what LeBron said. He is. He is, man. His touch, you can't teach that. You could be the greatest coach of all time. You can't teach, the touch that Steph Curry has. Even on his jump shots, even on his floaters, his layups. You can't teach some of that stuff. And I saw the Magic back in 2008. I was like, wow, dude, in the March Madness, this was really before, social media started to build up, right? It was just coming out. Facebook just came out in 2008, and Twitter really wasn't popping. Instagram wasn't out yet, not even Snapchat. None of those media outlets were out yet. But yet, a lot of people still were like, dude, we know Steph Curry now. He's coming on the map, rookie, coming in as a rookie, dude. Really skinny, super skinny. Didn't really look like the classic so-called NBA player. But Steph, he's got a nice handle. He just got the sauce, okay? He's got the sauce. He's got the touch. He's just got it, dude. And that's something you can't teach. I really do believe that's God-given right there. When I say that, just pulling up from 40-plus feet and just whacking threes, at Madison Square Garden, beating Ray Allen's record, it's iconic, dude. It's one of the things where it's like, dude, wow. He really has changed the game. We look at LeBron James. Yes, he's changed the game. Steph Curry changed the game. Kobe Bryant changed the game. Tim Duncan changed the game. Shaquille O'Neal changed the game. for the better. For the better. Now, we could say all the bad things that happen to some of these players, but I'm telling you what, man, Steph Curry, dude, hats off to him, dude. I mean, people, they should be, like, cheering for Steph, man. We don't see Steph in the media losing his mind, going to bars and getting in fights, as like some other athletes that we see. I think Steph, man, he's a humble guy, and I really do, you kind of reap what you sow, right? And Steph right now, dude, he's on his way to the Hall of Fame. If Steph were to retire today, he would be in the Hall of Fame. He would be. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it, dude. He's in the Hall of Fame. Okay, so that's what we do know. Almost 3,000 threes, dude. And his career's not even over yet. That is ridiculous, dude. That is something special, dude. And I think, a lot of the point guards that are coming up today, really like mimic Steph. They want to shoot deep threes now. They want to do that. Now, has it helped the game? I truly believe so. Now, if you're not a three-point shooter, don't be like Steph then, right? Some aspects of Steph's games, come off the pick and roll, do the little, hesitation move and drive into the basket, get the jump shot, get the easy 15-footer. You don't always have to shoot the deep ball like Steph. People want to be the next Steph Curry, but the sad news is there will never be another Steph Curry. Ever, dude. Even in the next century, dude, the next 100, 200, 300 years, no one will ever be like Steph Curry, dude. It's really crazy. Me growing up in Indiana, we really were just like, basketball was our religion, right? We loved it. We just like, it consumed us, right? And even in the gym, we want to shoot deep shots. And this was really before Steph. This was like in the early 2000s, like, man, and even our coaches back then were like, those are bad shots, and I would agree. Looking back, it's like, yes, if you're a three-point shooter, those aren't necessarily bad shots. Now the coach are telling you those are bad shots because you're not a three-point shooter. You're not Steph Curry. You're not making these, crazy threes. You're not Reggie Miller making these, incredible threes, okay? Yes, you want to be, but, for the traditional offense, it's like, those are typically bad shots. Now, obviously, if you're a three-point shooter, those are great shots, okay? We look at Steph, even some of Steph's shots, those are bad shots that he's taken, yet he's still making them, right? And it's kind of like a head-scratcher, like, how did he make that? Double team, fading away, and still hits the three? Yes, on book, on paper, that's a bad shot. But in a game, when Steph hits it, that's a good shot for him. That it's crazy, right? You can't always go by the book. You really can't. So, for Steph, man, it's amazing, dude. I love it. I think, basketball in the next, 20 to 30 years from now, I think really Steph has really, like, changed it to like, hey, we're going to be a three-pointing shooting team. Yeah, we're going to go against, crazy athletes that can dunk, jump out of the gym. Well, that's fine. We're going to hit our threes. We're going to live and die by the three. So if we're going to live by the three, we're going to win most of our games. Really, though. But, you can also die by the three. And we look at the 2016 NBA Finals, where the Warriors kind of, became too dependent on the three-point shot. Even in Game 5. Yes, I get it. Draymond was suspended that game. That was a momentum shift. But even then, it was like they were shooting some bad threes. Yes, I get it. The Splash Brothers, they're great three-point shooters, if not the best three-point shooters of all time. But it was just like some of the shots that they're taking, even the best shooters, those aren't the best shots to take. You could go in and drive in, get the jumper, just do something different, go off the offense, get the easy bucket, get the easy dunk, get the easy layup. Not always the three-point shot is the good shot. Now, obviously, Steph, dude, is the only exception, really. We can look at Steph, even the top three-point shooters in today's game. We can look at them, even, the point guards today, they want to shoot threes now. And we kind of saw it with Damian Lillard. When Damian Lillard came into the league, he wasn't a three-point shooter at all. That was really his weakness. Now, present day, Damian Lillard, he could shoot threes great. Not like Steph Curry great, but he can hit threes, anytime now. He really can. And I think, for Damian Lillard, one of the most underrated point guards in the NBA. A couple years ago, he got stubbed from the All-Star game. That makes no sense. And I even said if Damian Lillard was in LA with LeBron right now, that's it. It's over. Their championship is sealed for that. So I think for Steph, man, it's great, dude. I think the game moving forward is only going to be better for it. Yeah, we look at when basketball was first invented, there wasn't a three-point shot. So obviously Steph wouldn't be as valuable. But, if Steph is still shooting 35 to 40, 45, 50-foot shots, half-court shots and making them, That's crazy. We saw the 75-foot shot he made against Memphis Grizzlies, dude. That, like, some of that stuff you just can't teach, dude. You cannot do it, dude. You're just born with it. You're just born with it. Like somebody who's just a natural leader, you're just born with it. Yes, you can learn leadership skills, but, the best leaders, sometimes they just have it in them. It's in your heart. It's in your soul, dude. Just like Steph, man. So, moving forward for Steph, yes, he will win another NBA championship. Now, let's say if Steph doesn't ever win again, he's still a Hall of Famer. He's still a top 10 greatest NBA players to ever play the game. That's my opinion dealing with Steph Curry. Now, I do think he will win eventually another NBA championship, because we have to understand that, yes, LeBron, he's not in his prime, like top tier prime right now. So eventually he's going to retire. And I do think Steph, if he doesn't win in the next 5, I do think he will win one, his last couple years in the NBA. But for Steph, it's like, dude, like, really, I see him playing at least till 2030. I really do. It's not like, yes, there is wear and tear. Yes, he does run a lot, on his knees and stuff like that. But it's not like football where you're taking crazy hits. You're not getting CTE, So I think nowadays the athletes, they have the best equipment to recover, the best nutrition, the best diets, the best everything. So I think Steph will see him around till 2030. I do see him being like the Tom Brady in the NBA. Play until he's in his 40s, mid-40s, late 40s. I really do. It's not like he's getting hit in football, dude. He's not getting blindsided, not getting hit in the back all the time. And the way NBA's played now, even the game of basketball, it has softened up. And I will say, I don't like that part. I want it competitive. I want people to get bloodied up. At least that's how we grew up playing. One-on-one, get bloody, play competitively, get really in the trenches, dude. Play for blood. Play like we're playing for $1 million on the line right now, right here. Like, seriously, that's what I think. But, man, Steph Curry, dude, such a great icon, changed the game of basketball forever. And moving forward, man, the generation of hoopers coming up, they're going to mimic Steph. They're going to want to be like Steph Curry, man. Humble and hungry, man. Shout out to Steph Curry. It's the Cloud with Cam Show. Let's go!